Rome, with its complex history, has many statues of figures who are relatively unknown, often even to myself. Here at the base of the Capitoline Hill in central Rome stands the figure of the statue of Cola di Rienzo right behind me. He lived from about 1313 to 1354. At birth, this man was Nicola Cabrini and became an Italian politician who worked to dissolve the church governance of the Papal States and advocated for the reunification of Italy. Now, the subject of the Papal States is a complex one. These were territories of central Italy over which the Pope had jurisdiction for a little over 1,000 years, from about 756 AD to 1870. This included about 4 of today's major central regions of Italy. The size was about a third of the state of California. Now, this rule was due in part to the decline of the Roman Empire. The Italian people were vulnerable to attack from the growth of Islam and other aggressive powers. So the church stood up to safeguard the people. Such involvement, of course, put the church in a delicate position, as their primary mission is not one of direct civil leadership, and there will always be enemies of the church who want to see her destroyed. Cola di Rienzo was one of them. Now, coming from a poor background, Rienzo was inspired by writers addressing the glories of ancient Rome, whose rule he and others wanted to return. So, advancing in civil standing, he slowly gathered a band of supporters and drew up plans for insurrection. In May 1347, dressed in full armor, he led a procession to the Capitol right here, while he addressed the assembled crowd and spoke of the redemption of Rome. He gained confidence of the people, and the nobles of Rome went into hiding. Rienzo took upon himself the title of tribune, and he governed the city with stern justice, in contrast to the preceding disorder and crime rampant in the city. Rienzo was regarded by many as the destined restorer of Rome and Italy. However, the exiled barons came back, amassing troops, and fighting began in the neighborhoods of Rome. And having abused his power, Cola di Rienzo lost favor of the people, and an uprising broke out on October 8, 1354, when he tried to address them. Attempting escape, he was lynched by the mob, where his statue behind me now stands. Cola di Rienzo reemerged in the 19th century as a legacy figure among politically liberal nationalists, and was considered as a precursor of the 19th century Italian Risorgimento, resurgence, which struggled for abolition of the Pope's temporal power and the reunification of Italy. This movement did find success in 1870. For other nations, especially throughout Europe, Rienzo became a symbol of national struggle for sovereignty and suppression of the church. Even Adolf Hitler, as a teenager, hearing Rienzo's story, had his first vision of the reunification of the German people. Totalitarian and oppressive regimes have come and go, but the church will always remain. Let us maintain confidence that the church will exercise her transforming power for the good of countries, the good of nations, and of course, the good of all souls, as we are assured in Christ's death and resurrection. And God be with you.